Good morning for the Sunday morning conversations, and I hope that you will come forward and express yourself and help me to help you. And so if you have any irritations or whatever it is that is bothering you, would you please stand up and say, this is what I can't deal with. I don't know what I'm doing here. That's all I want. So we start with my friend here.
Yeah. My situation is that I don't even know how to ask for help.
A situation is something outside yourself or inside yourself?
It's inside. It's inside. Okay. And basically it's like looking for a refuge. Something in me doesn't want to face.
You want to cry like this? Do you feel like you want to cry?
No, not right now, no. But there's an underlying emotion in there, kind of like a melancholy or whatever.
As you're talking?
Yeah. And
what does it feel like?
I don't know. I just have that. It's like a cloud over me that follows me, and it's like towards the evening, it's like a dark cloud, and as the day goes down,
like a cloud,
dark cloud. It's like a depression, and as the sun goes down,
it's about time.
What's that?
It's about time you've come to that.
Yeah.
It's always been that way.
Yeah.
And other things on top of it, worse, have gone away. And now you come to the root of it.
Yeah.
Is an entity.
Yeah, it's a
You're
spirit.
dealing with an entity.
Yeah.
And now you have to see that.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have some experiences with that, which is, I don't know, it's weird.
Well, it's the sameness of things, the things that never change. It's what follows me probably since I was about 2, I experienced regret.
When you were 2 years old?
Yeah, about 2.
All right. But before 2, did you have intuition and you could see all the cruelty around you?
Well, when I think I was 1 year old, my mom left my dad because he was...
You remember 1 year old?
I remember 1.5 or so. I was probably... She left my father and stayed.
Did you like your father?
I never knew him. He came to visit in 1960. It's about 3.5, and he never came back.
Is that all? And you never saw him again after that?
No. And then I found out we were looking for him. You know, after my mom died, we were looking for him, and he
may have died.
He did, and I didn't get. And we looked for him. He was not on the Social Security death list.
But the truth is, why would you want to find him?
I don't know.
If he just ran away.
What's that? He couldn't stop drinking, and I think he was a decent guy. Yeah, but
well, yes, he's a decent guy. Lots of people are decent guy, but then, or any kind of perversion.
Yeah,
it makes them indecent.
Yeah, that's true. Well, anyway, he. I never saw him. Then I got a notice from one of my cousins called me up.
So you're hungry for father?
Yeah, pretty much. It just seems like that was the theme of my childhood growing up, which
I know.
Everything was difficult.
How is your relationship with me? Am I like a father?
Yes. And I see your advice, and I see your guidance.
Every week?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't be here, one at a time every week.
No, but that's fine. It's just that...
I can be everybody's father.
Sure. But I just... I don't know why I have this problem. I should have let it go a long time ago. That's the thing. It seems like I hang on to stuff too long.
What did you just say?
I don't know why I have this problem. I should have let it go a long time ago, as far as missing my dad.
What you're saying is you hate something. What is it you hate? Is it hate? Are you hating your mother, or you're driving away your father, or your father? Running away, just
Well,
running away.
I realized my mom was very broken and she couldn't help herself. I realized my dad was the same way.
What was it that she couldn't help herself from?
She was very weak, and my grandmother was a real bitch.
So you have another person.
I was raised by two
You have
women.
a wicked grandmother.
Yes.
And you have a wimpy mother.
Yes,
Am I correct?
that was correct.
And then she is an appeaser to the father, to your father,
Yeah.
her husband. And he couldn't stand it.
Yep. Whatever it was,
She wants something, and she wants something, and
Yeah.
she wants something, and she wants something.
Yeah.
And he feels the pull of it. And he gets angry. And tries to be nice. And the more he gives to her, the more she wants from him, and more pulls on him, and pulls on him, and he just runs.
They were married for probably less than 2 years.
Huh?
They were married for less than 2 years.
I didn't have one word I missed.
They were married for less than 2 years.
Less than 2 years.
Less than 2 years. And
Yeah.
I remember, I don't know, I can go back in the history of it, but I remember she left my dad with the clothes on her back from New York and came to California. Then when we were in California, we were staying at our uncle's, and my dad kidnapped me and brought me back to New York. And then in the transaction, I came back.
From what?
In the transaction, he was
What is a transaction?
Well, she basically, the law came after my father and made my father return me to my mother. And so it was, I don't know. I don't know if I'm really good at explaining all this. It doesn't.
You're doing your best.
Okay.
I'm getting
Yeah.
your thoughts.
Anyway, it was kind of a turmoil. I don't remember all of it, but my dad was.
Well, the whole thing is you had two problems.
Yeah.
You're addicted to your mother. Addicted.
Yeah, when I was growing up.
But she was a pathetic creature.
Yeah,
And she wanted more. She wanted something from you that you couldn't give.
Yes, perhaps.
Is your mother still alive?
No, she died a long, long time ago.
Were you with her most of the time?
No, I was actually working when she died. I had my own business.
But did you? How old were you when you left her?
She got killed in an automobile accident when I was about 24. She got run over by a truck.
Oh, yes, but you're a grown-up person then.
Yeah, I know.
But what was your relationship?
I pushed.
Were you living with her all those years?
I was living in the house, yes.
All those years, and
All
then
those
she got
years.
killed.
She got killed, yeah. And
How did you feel?
I felt a certain amount of stress. The day she
You know
died.
what happened to my mother when she got dead in front of me?
I remember you telling me this story, yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. I didn't feel emotion. I felt stress. What I did feel before I knew she had died, I got a premonition. And that premonition, I think, was preparing me for what happened. So when she died, I was very much, all I felt was a stress in my solar plexus.
I mean, you lost something.
No.
Well,
I lost something when my father left.
What makes you distressed?
My father, not my mom.
So you're still looking for your father?
Yes. And I don't know why I can't let that go.
Well, I'd like to tell you about myself.
Okay.
And I think I already said it already, but not everybody's heard it. I had two experiences. One, my father died. I was in school, but in a boarding school, 60 miles away. And when they said, your father died, I knew the night before. He visited me. Really interesting. So I knew what it was. And I walked towards the head teacher with just a little heavy heart. And then I had to take a spade and put dirt over his grave, you see. And that was just a little feeling, emotion, just a little thing. But my mother came from England backwards and forwards. And then we let her come with us as we're going on the road and doing my business with David, who was just a kid baby. And in one of the hotels that we sleep at night, she dropped dead. Now, I didn't have any feeling. What's the difference between the longing, the feeling for my father and the non-feeling of my mother, who was a very nice lady? She was very, very nice, but she was codependent on my father. And she died, and I knew the reason why she died, because she hated God. Because she had headaches. She called them sick headaches. But what it was is hating the fact that he died, because she was so dependent on him. And therefore, it leaves her with anger, but very not noticeable anger. It expressed itself with terrible headaches. Mm-hmm. But when my father died, he was fatherly. He was really fatherly. He was almost magic. Gracious, calm, build, create, everything in the situation just before the war where nobody could get a job. Not even him. He could speak 11 languages and do anything. And then the war came. He took a few dollars, the few dollars he had, and he took a whole lot of broken watches. He sets up a little place, and he starts to take pieces out of it and sell the watches, because you couldn't buy one. Mm-hmm. And so he made it there. But that's just a little story. The big story of it is he was so much a father. He never said much. He was always there. And if I'd ask him for anything, the thing I remember about what's life about, Dad, he says, you have to find it yourself. I cannot tell you. Mm-hmm. And that was magical. He gave me happiness in that, sense of worth, because I've always had that. Even in my mother's womb, it could have been, but just after being born, because time expanded. And one day I hear those words, but they weren't words in my baby self. But when I became ability to speak, then it spoke in my head. Mm-hmm. It's been that way ever since. And ever since then, I've never overreacted, maybe once or twice, mm-hmm. and seen the folly of it. See that?
Yeah. I noticed when I was...
What I'm trying to say here is the father I could see wasn't the father that I could not see, but he had it in him. And so one day, walking down the street, kind of looking for my father, hoping that he wasn't dead, something stopped me. It was raining. And something said to me, that's not your father. I'm your father's father. And that was Spirit speaking to me. Right on. I think I handled it fairly well. Mm-hmm. I wasn't too addicted to my dad, because he was hardly ever there, but he was just a good person. Mm-hmm. I knew he had to work. I knew he couldn't be there for me. I understood all those things. When the war began, he put a uniform on, and he built all kinds of communications, electronic, and I began to play with them as toys, and I built things. Mm-hmm. A bagatelle that goes round and round, and the lights go on, on cardboard. All kinds of little things I learned just by his tools lying around, which he let me use. And that's when I had most of my experience with him, before he died. But that's the story. But the main thing, we all need a father. It's essential we have a father. And the father have a Father that is not seen. It's within you.
Yeah.
He had it within him, but he didn't boast that it was in him. And so when he died, something beyond him came to me and took away the pain. I almost want to cry now. Since. But what do you see in me?
Hard to describe. I see you as having authority, and you're not mean. You're a decent person, but I really think your advice and what you've told me has helped me.
No good.
Okay.
There's something missing.
Yeah, I know there is. Yeah.
Something missing right there.
Yeah.
I don't like to brag, but it does seem that I have what my father had in my heart.
Yeah.
I accepted that. And it made me a different person from anybody else in every way. I can rarely find any time I didn't get upset. Yet I can say stop, but there's no anger in it. There's a good anger and a bad anger. A big, strong voice and a bad, strong voice has an opposite, different. It has different energies in it. One is redemption, and the children respect. One is to run away or become like the bully. And so, perhaps you might look on me again, that I'm a father. Now, my own family do not recognize me as a father. That's because I married a woman that, well, she wasn't well. And she turned all the children against me without realizing it, because I had to go to work 120 miles a day there and back. So I didn't have much to say what she was doing. She had projected the anger she had on her father on me. And so therefore, always feeling resentful, needful, and then resentful. When you get needful, because you did see that I was a decent person. But the problem is being decent, and as decent as I was, in a manner of speaking, unlike any other person, I never got resentful. But the tendency for a woman that wants to project their father, you see that way, is, I'm just missing a point. If you can love the father you can see, if he's fatherly, you will love the father you cannot see.
That's the main thing I didn't have.
What am I? See, there's got to be a father somewhere.
There's somebody behind you, I think the father in you, I recognize that. But I don't really, intellectually.
Have you accepted the father in me? I have a grandson, I've got to remember him. He was with me yesterday. Marcus, right.
I know
Marcus has lost his father. He ran away. He didn't run away, but he's not a good father. And he said, he loves to come, and he gives me hugs. And he's really real. He says, you're the father I didn't have. Well, there's another way of saying it, because I'm not his father, but I acted, and it made him feel different. He took my sense of worth, and it became part of him. He drew from what was in me and loved it. And he truly loved that. He loves the father who was the grandfather. And he said, I'll wait for my father to come back. But it's nice that you represent what a man should be. And he gave me lots of hugs, and he always does.
Yeah.
But the point is, I don't want you to give me hugs.
No, I don't need to. It's not that kind of...
Because I'm not doing much more.
No.
He comes home, has dinner. And
Yeah, I remember...
It's an ongoing thing.
On the negative side, I remember...
but what you could do, like many of the women do, the women are much more wise when it comes to men.
Mm-hmm.
Because most men, you don't find a person like me, they don't find many men like what I have. It's 1 in a million, if that is the case. And so it is valuable for the women to look at me as a dad, because that's what they need. A father should be the dad of the woman, because he was. Woman came out of man.
Yeah.
So it's really her dad.
She's
and
the daughter.
she married a dad, so to speak.
Yeah. She's the
So
daughter.
women are missing something, but the trouble is men born of woman go back to woman looking for approval as if she was love. But she needs to have the hell loved out of her.
Yeah.
So you can't look to your mother for salvation, only a father. But the trouble is they're not around.
I realized
But
when...
I'm around.
Yes.
And you could look at me that way and see a father beyond me. But that will wipe away all your problems.
Yeah, it would.
But you don't trust me yet.
Yeah.
You don't trust me yet.
Yeah, I think
Don't
that...
trust him.
Yeah. This is what I experienced when I was probably 50. My uncle, who is an attorney, is my godfather, mentioned that he ran into my dad, and he was living 60 miles south from us in Salinas. And he said, oh, yeah, I was in court at the time, and I saw your dad there. But he never mentioned to me at the time about it.
Now, all that
stuff was buried.
All this is hearsay.
I know. But this is what was
I'll
buried
let you
in me.
speak.
Okay.
Because you need to get it off your chest.
Yeah, I do.
I don't want to be rude. Finish it.
Okay. Yeah.
But what I'm going to say is the ultimate answer you're going to need.
Okay. Anyway, when he mentioned that, I had a shock go through me. And it was, oh, yeah, this thing I had buried for 50 years was that he really didn't like us. He really wanted nothing to do with us.
Wait a minute, I'm not hearing that.
He didn't want anything to do with us.
He didn't want, and especially you.
And if I saw him in an elevator or so, he wouldn't give me the time of day. And I didn't know I had...
That's a rejection.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
For your whole father, it's horrible. And you have now problem hating your father and God.
Yes.
You have hating God, aren't you?
I was when
That's right. You still are.
I don't
That's
see
why
that
you can't get better.
Yeah. Maybe that's the case. I'd like to not have that, but...
No, I said it so simply.
Yeah.
Now, you're not going to make it unless you find him.
I agree.
Nobody on earth can find peace unless they realize or experience. The word experience is, I can't describe it. Mm-hmm. The experience that you have with your Creator, like I did. There's something said to me, as I just repeated it just a little while before. That's not your dad. I'm your dad's dad. But that was spirit. But he represented it without realizing it himself. He was honest, heart. He always did something, the right thing, without ever wanting anything back. Good advice, simple advice. And I caught on, but didn't appreciate it, that I had it later in life. Because I learned, or I absorbed, or experienced, whatever it is, what was in him. I was happy with him, and then eventually gloriously happy without him. he went to the place where he belonged. Mm-hmm. And please God, I will. But you won't.
Yeah, very possible.
No, because you love the Father. You hate the Father that you can see. And you have to learn to forgive the Father. If you do that, well, the word forgiveness is really, Jesus was almost executed because he forgave. You don't judge and you can't forgive. Mm-hmm. God judges and he forgives. Yeah. So it's not quite the forgiveness, but you can let it go.
Yeah.
The big difference in wording.
Sure.
Did you understand now that can you trust that I'm coming from a different place? Do you know I stutter? Do you know I have lost my memory? Does it look like I've lost my memory here?
Oh. No.
No.
You're speaking.
But I have lost my memory completely. Mm-hmm. And the only thing I can do on my own, my wife will tell you, I can't remember anything. But when I sit here, talk with you, mm-hmm. It's not me talking. Otherwise, I could do it at home.
It's something I have to see. I have to see it, and I'm not always good at seeing things. I just
no. It's a matter of realizing it.
Realizing it. Yeah.
You see, seeing you can. Yeah. Perceiving you can't.
Yeah.
There's a difference between seeing and perceiving.
Yeah.
Because one light comes from the inside. Mm-hmm. The other light comes. But if you don't have perception, the gift, intuitiveness, that's a gift. You always had it, but your anger caused you to run away from it.
Yeah.
Emotionally run away, trying to fix things, trying to console yourself.
That was one of the things that was my big mistake, was trying to...
You've got to knock that off.
Yeah. It was like I realized...
Your father was no damn good.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Most fathers are no damn good.
Yep.
They may be, friendly and cordial and all the rest of it to other people, and does his best, but loses his temper, or it becomes a appeaser to your mom. And that's the worst thing you can do to a child.
Yeah.
Do I remember that person right back there? It's you.
It's me.
You look older. I'm glad you came.
Yeah, I'm glad you're speaking so well.
I call that magic because I don't really understand how it really works like that.
Amazing.
It makes me, it humbles me. So I'm not so clever and smart that I used to be. But I think I can discard all that and just be a quiet person and having a bad memory. I wanted to talk about memory today, so if you don't mind, I can change the subject, but I'll listen to you first. Excuse me.
I just was going to say that I came in here, and to me, it's like witnessing like a miracle. You're being very fluid and very well spoken. I'm so thankful to see this.
What's the problem, though? There's something eating away.
Yeah, there is. I was here 2 months ago and spoke about my son, that he has thyroid cancer.
Oh.
And you graciously called me about a week ago.
I remember your wife is
Yes.
a bitch.
She is.
And you're a son of a bitch.
That's right. And you spoke about...
But you can't be a son of a bitch. And
I understand. I hear you. And
your son hates you because you're not a man. You give in to your wife. What are you afraid of? She run away? Good goodness of bad rubbish. What do you need her for now, at least? You want to save your son?
Yes.
Get rid of your wife. I don't mean in that, you know, in that way, but make her not important. Don't be codependent. You're codependent on that woman. She's a bully, correct?
That's been true. It's not true now, but it has been true.
Why? How come now?
Because I've seen it, and I'm no longer codependent.
In other words, you are standing up and
Absolutely.
and say, put the food down.
Absolutely. Yes. On a daily basis.
And how old is your son?
But I'm here.
How old is your son?
My son's 35.
Does he live with you?
No, he has his own family.
I'd invite him to live with you for a while, maybe the whole family. And so that they can see that, he can see that you're a man. Because if you're a real man, he will see it. And if he sees it, it's his. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
If you could see it and appreciate it, you've owned it. It's nice and simple, isn't it? Can you bring your son here?
I'd like to. I've repeatedly invited. He doesn't want to come. I repeatedly invited him.
Did you tell him I could help his cancer?
Absolutely.
In 10 minutes?
Yep.
I've got some people here who've seen. When I say me, I don't mean it's me. I understand this. But I have to use the word. She's seen 2 people cured, I think it's 2, overcome cancer within seconds. Is that right, Wendy?
Yes.
Okay. The cancer just... You can't be hard-hearted. Everybody needs to not be hard-hearted. But you can't have a soft heart because anybody can get you. You have to have a heart that is driven from within you. Something within you, and then there's a nothing within you, a so-called nothing. The nothing is a dark energy, and it comes up from women, with all due respect. They don't know that. I know it. But they're playing a role. When man looks at a woman and wants her, it looks like love. She feels that she is experiencing love and that you're a wonderful person. But a man's love without a Jesus, to give an example, so that the nature of Jesus passes from generation to generation, hopefully to the whole human race. People like myself are the extension of Jesus, as Jesus is the extension of God. And if you can actually perceive that I'm coming from that place, it belongs to you immediately. And everything starts to change. Everything. Your emotions go away, they disappear. There's no more feelings. But in place of the feelings, there's light that doesn't give any feeling. But it contains who you should be for every single moment. And you never make a decision. You don't figure anything out. Now, I do physics, and that is what I've born to be. So when I look at things, I want to see things, I want to understand it. But I don't get frustrated if I can't see it. I wait till I can, see? And then I can see that I can correct what I see, and so on and so forth. But it's always moments. I see that. It was given to me. If I didn't have an intuitive light, I couldn't see it. If I didn't have an intuitive light, I couldn't see Obama for what he was. Everybody thought it was fundamental transformation, meaning up, in one sense, but I could see through that. Anybody who has intuitiveness can see the lie of the same word. It means one person thinks it's wonderful, and the other person sees the disgrace of it, the horror of it, and the outcome. That makes you all the difference in your life, how you see. You have to have both seeings. And if you're blind, you can still be intuitive and enjoy your life. Because you can still see, you can feel it, you can smell it, in a manner of speaking. Your shaking is better, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
You're not nearly as bad as last week.
No, not at all.
What have you learned? Could you put that close to your mouth because you're very quiet?
Yes. What I've learned is just to wait and see. That's all I needed to know.
What are you waiting for? What are you looking for?
For the light to show me
what does waiting mean?
Waiting means not getting in the way, not trying to do it myself.
Of yourself, you can do nothing.
Yes.
The Father within you, He does it.
Yes.
And when you realize that of yourself you can do nothing, you're free.
That's what I felt this past week, free.
You don't care about... So now you're shaking and you have pain, but somehow it's a good pain.
Thank you.
It's a good shaking.
I love
but
it.
The shaking is less as you become aware of it and don't swear it and don't get angry with it.
Yes.
And you're annoyed with it.
No more.
And it will go away. Just watching. And in that watching, light is coming through.
That's what I
And the
felt.
light will take care of what emotion has done.
Yes, that's
Human beings are not supposed to be driven by emotion.
No.
That's what causes you to be a human in conflicts with an animal. Or see that?
Yes, I do. That's what
Animals
I've been.
are emotion. Run, fight, motion, motion.
Fear, hate,
But
anger, resentment.
we don't run on that. We run on a different light. So if I have to fight, I don't know I'm fighting. My hands will go wherever they go. I never make a decision. I just wait. I really don't know. And then all of a sudden I do. And it always works. And even if it looks wrong, even if it is wrong, but not wrong, if I don't resent it. Because you see, there's such situations in life that are so bad, you can only be angry with it. But the point is, if it's bad and you can't do anything about it, what's the purpose of getting upset and hating the hurter? You need to let it go. Mm-hmm. Let go, let God, and He does. I remember David, who became second in charge of Egypt, that David. He was in prison for 20 years. And when he first came to Egypt, he worked for a famous person, but the wife liked him and wanted to have sex with him, but he wouldn't do it. And then she got angry with him and lied about it, so he went to jail. And for 20 years, and then comes the dreams, and then comes what's the chief cook, a bottle washer of Pharaoh. And he was good at explaining dreams, and so Pharaoh got this information of this person, and asked him to see if he could, and he said it right. The seven bulls or 7 cows, and the 7 meaning 7 years of no food.
Yeah.
And he became second in charge of Egypt. It's bad things happen for good if you can endure them. The bad things that happen are good for you.
Yeah.
They are medicine.
It's teaching me patience.
Exactly. Look how simple that is.
Yeah.
But you see, you can see I do it. I seem to like, my family sees me as a simpleton,
Well,
except Alan.
well, you're simple, but not a simpleton.
No. You can't see. I'm just an ordinary person, but less than ordinary, because I really don't run around trying to hurt people or help people, hurt them. I just let whatever it is. I have lost millions. I have made magazines coming right to the top and being broken. A network right to the top, of which I was part. I had to sell it to someone because the church can't have that, so I had to give it up. But if I had to give it up, it would have been strong. Like the other one I hadn't sold. I had a radio program. I sold it for $7 million, $8 million. I knew what I was doing. I had all kinds of different things, bad management, everything. But it grew. And I became a better person. Trials and tribulations, I love them. That's the funny part. I know whatever is in me is going to win. God cannot lose. And if you're the extension of Him, you can't lose either. My life is nothing else filled with sickness, disease, or anything you can manage, betrayal. And you say, if you're smart, you're going to grasp the betrayal. I can't always grasp it. I don't know anything. And maybe I shouldn't know. Maybe I should get all this lost to see how I deal with this. And therefore, I dealt with it calmly.
Yeah.
I might be thought of as mentally ill. I'm not. I don't look mentally ill, do I?
Not in the least.
Yes.
That's a really wonderful thing to hear, that God cannot lose. He doesn't lose. And when you're coming from the right place, that other spirit in the people, it loses every time. And
It loses, not only that, but two things happen. The people that do that to me have two choices. Get worse or suffer and die.
right,
You understand, when you're dealing with God and you're the extension of Him, therefore I cannot take any
credit.
credit. Thank you for the credit. If I don't take the credit and act like and be okay, that is magic. Because the person who, all the people who are cruel, all the people have problems because of their emotions and turning them into animals that are sweet and kind and animals that are bullies. They try to influence me whether they realize it or not. Some realize it and they're wicked, and some don't realize it and they're not wicked, but only it's a conditioning.
Yeah,
And so the one that's decent but still has the same problems, I can help. But the bully hates where I'm coming from.
oh yeah,
Hates it, and the more he hates it, the more experience I have from doing what I'm supposed to be. Calm.
right.
Let go. Let God. And not turn anger with anger.
Right, it's you have a different energy field from that.
But the energy from him doesn't come from me, it dissolves. But what comes from me, he can't see. He can't deal with it. And he gets upset, and what has upset him, which is the good, pierces him, and the identity, the crisis inside him. And he will go crazy, mad, commit suicide.
Yeah, it's really bizarre. I've seen that
The whole
happening
country
a little
could do
bit
this
in-
and win every war.
Yeah, I've seen that happening a little bit in my life now, and it is really bizarre how they see it totally upside down. And they think, I mean, I have a gentleman now, he thinks I'm literally insane. I mean, he really thinks, and it's that spirit
him.
projecting. Oh,
Let him.
absolutely.
Say,
Yeah.
that's nice. Thank you for the compliment.
Yes, it's a wonderful thing to not, because most of my life I was very much intimidated and very much a coward, and it's, you know, thank God that is not the case, and I'm very appreciative. I see you as a brother, you know.
Okay, how much money are you going to give me?
But for most of my life, I didn't have a father, so
You never expected that, did you?
But the point is, I needed you as some type of a father. I didn't have that like Tim. I didn't have that in my life. But now it's different, because that father, I realize that father is here. It's here. It's inside
What
me.
you really need is the Father you see in me. It's not me, the
No.
Father. It's Him.
Yeah, and when I appreciate that, I appreciate it in me, and he comes
And then you're
alive.
free- but then you're free from me.
Absolutely.
But you're not free from God.
No.
And you don't want to be free
I'm
from
his
Him.
I want to be his servant. I want to be in his army.
Well, that's
and
what
then
happens.
Yes.
You don't have to want to. It's already arranged.
Yes.
It's that simple.
It is. It's a real
How
blessing.
are you doing? That day, which is deadly in the military, and I've spoken about this before, but I think this is a root. When you were on duty, you heard a noise, and the other enemy was there, and you were afraid to talk about it, and that is hell. Understand that? You sacrifice the lives of hundreds of men because you're too afraid of it speaking up for some reason. And that is a huge root you don't have to look for. You've always been a timid, quiet, weak person, but you're not anymore. You've got to have cojones, if you know what those are.
Yes, I do. I've had that knowledge. And the thing that happened in Vietnam, I was given a new device we had called a night scope. We were on duty in a corner bunker, which was manned with a .50 caliber machine gun and 3 men with their M16s. I received a call on the landline that men down the line had been receiving some small fire, and I was to go and use this night scope and see what was there. Well, I couldn't see it from inside the bunker, so I crawled outside onto the roof and looked down. I saw 2 figures crouching in the grass. And I went back down, and that's when the fear came. And instead of saying, I see 2 figures, I said, I see 2 monkeys, and meant monkeys. Now, nothing occurred after that. I called the sergeant. This is who I was speaking to. He was the sergeant in charge.
Yeah, but you needed to be specific. It could be a joke.
Pardon me?
If you said that, it becomes a joke. It should have been 2 people, 2...
Yes, that's what I understand. I should have said,
But
I see 2 men in the grass, and let it go at that.
Well,
And whatever would have had to
But
be
they maybe
done would have
had
been
monkeys. I don't know
done.
if there are monkeys there, but it was a way of
Avoiding the
doing it and not doing it. Well, you can be, look, you can be forgiven for that. We all make mistakes.
Yes, I did make a
I think
mistake.
the soldiers who knew that, they'd have compassion on you. Most of the soldiers are very gracious. The best people in this country are in the military, because they
Yes.
love this country and give their life for it. And why does a person give their life for it? Well, Jesus says something beautiful, if I can remember it. Nothing greater, if you can help me with it.
Greater love has
No man that he laid down his life for his friend. Now, why would you do that? Why would a man see a grenade
Yeah.
and see all the danger, all the men, and jump on it and let it blow him up? What does that? Greater love. I don't think I'd do it, but maybe I could. You know, I have no idea. It's only the moment. Are we doing pretty good today? You know, do you shake when you sleep?
Yes.
I think I'm going to put you to sleep for life.
No, I don't shake when I sleep. It's just getting to sleep, calming down and relaxing, letting myself relax.
When you wake up in the morning, what do? You could do the same thing, but in a different way. A 7-minute meditation that transfers your spirit. The spirit is very hard to describe. You can't see a spirit. You can see a brain. You also, there's a spirit of evil, but you can't see it. To a point, you can. At some point, there's a reason that you can know that it's there, experiencing it without seeing it. When I had my exorcism, I could see something down there, but you couldn't see the shape of it. And when I was going through the experience, my hands became claws, my ears went up, and my whole face contorted, like you would actually see a person who is being treated that way. And when I was lying on the floor of my trailer with my wife at my side, I was doing a meditation. All of a sudden, everything went black. I've never seen black. I have never seen black. And if I put my hands over my eyes, I stay in a room without light, I can still see light on my eyelids. There's light there. Mm-hmm. It's not shining on anything yet, except it's dark. But I'm not afraid of the dark, because the dark. But in this case, I had no power against it. I didn't know I had it. I don't know if I had it from other people or my wife. I don't know where it came from, because she had a terrible life. Okay, really, really terrible life. She covered it up pretty well, but it took a little while for things to happen. But the thing is, in that moment, what I said, oh God, bang, just like it came out of me. I didn't say it. He made me say it. Gone. Gone. There is a thing that you're able to see. And that was my moment, because everything went black except I can see or perceive, which is not really seeing, but I know it's there and I know what it looks like. And it sits there and it's horror. It's horror. It was a living thing. But then in 1 second, it was gone. And it never had any problem since. Many years before that, I told you the story. or stories of locking the door and driving my bicycle, and it keeps saying, "But you didn't lock the door, but you didn't lock the door." And I was fooled once by saying, "Oh, I'll give it a try," because I thought it was me. Maybe I was, not aware enough. But the second time, you were sure. Pulled the door, it was really there. On the way to work, which is 10 miles away on a bicycle, something says, "But you didn't really lock the door." Those little things will kill you. You know what I said to it? Screw you. Get lost. Boing. Disappeared. Only one more time. See what it was. Yes, during the war. I'm not in the military yet. I'm standing by the air raid siren in my bedroom. And I was thinking what my father said when I asked him, "What's the meaning of life?" And the meaning of life pops up. All of a sudden something says, "If you do that, you will die." Well, maybe I will. I said, "Get out of me. I know who you are." On. He's left me alone for a long time. And the longer he left me alone, every now and then a little something, it's gone. There's war going on. I have the gift of not only seeing it, but sharing it. As I got older, and I see that what my purpose was. The hypnosis was interesting, but after several years, the hypnosis slowly changed. It wasn't a big change right away. In all the 7 years, I'm writing down. Something said to me, "You got to write a book." I mean, it was not quite like that, but it came across. I said, "I don't know how to write." He says, "Just write what you wrote, what you saw today." So I did. But it was the first book we had. We changed the title so many times I forget what it is. But the experience got me to see that every person on earth, without them knowing, and with all kinds of triggers. Wendy's trigger was, "Take care." And when anybody said, "Take care," all of a sudden it started to do, I can't find the word for it, make her very angry and to want to do just the opposite, not take care. I'm not going to take care. And there goes her problem, one after the other. But one day, I keep saying it because the trigger isn't anywhere. It's just words. That's all. I can remember, for example, another one. A lady is in Christmas, on Christmas Day, and her daughter swallowed and almost choked to death on something she ate, the grape, whatever it was. And in her upset and in her thoughts, "Oh, I don't want her to die. I'd rather die myself for her." You know how that kind of thing is. Okay, that's not much, is it? Every Christmas, or the next Christmas that came, is years later. Everything's okay. Not so. And when Christmas starts to come, she feels fearful and disturbed. And it doesn't go away till Christmas goes. And she goes to the psychiatrist and doesn't know what to do. But the psychiatrists don't understand anything. Psychiatry and psychology is all bogus, all learned. no knowledge of common sense. I, on the other hand, have intuition. You have intuition. You have intuition. You all have intuition, but it's lost. But then the story comes, unless you become a little child, again, I have to say that. It wasn't there. Unless you become the 5 to 4-year-old or 2-year-old when you could see, and it's still there, unless you can find it from all the rubbish of emotions and everything else, it's still there, waiting for you to redeem yourself by following it, which is I am trying to do with you. You like that, Anne?
Yeah.
Good.
Since you brought up Winnie, I just wanted to tell a real brief something happened a couple months ago. I was awoken out of a dream, and there was a real dark, evil presence at my window.
That's
wanting
it.
to come into my room, a very yucky, really, really dark thing. And I said to it, "Get out of here, leave." And it didn't leave, it stayed there. And I said, "In Jesus' name, leave." And it was gone, right there.
There's something about that word.
Oh yeah, it'll do it every time.
Yesterday, on Friday and Thursday, I spoke about food, about food as an addiction. You can be addicted to food, can't you? Yeah. As long as it makes you feel better than you deserve. And, oh, it's so good, I have to have some more. Oh, it's so good, I have to have some more. And then she becomes a person who makes all kinds of different things that makes everybody happy. Even the kids are being persuaded to enjoy. And mother sits back. They love it. They love me. which is kind of wicked. But she doesn't know she's wicked. She thinks she's doing the good things. She's destroying her own children. But what I said on the radio program, and I'm not sure if it fits here, I think it does in some degree, is that of all the drugs you take, the more you take, the worse you get. The more anxiety you feel, and the more you need to get rid of the anxiety with the same thing that caused the anxiety. And to the point where you blow your brains out because it's so painful, you'd rather be dead than wrong. See? And I was saying something about food. I see all you fatzos. What are those nice places where you have lots of
Buffet.
lots of stores? What is it?
A mall?
A mall. If you go to a mall or walk in the street, which I don't do much anymore, but if you go there, you're going to see ugliness. Ugliness, fat, dirty, perverted, demoralized. They don't look like human beings. They just don't look that way. It's horrible. But they're happy. I love my food, I love my clothes, I love my this and that, but food. Of all the, every problem can be semi-cured, artificially cured, as a symptom. Let me see if I can say it again. Every drug has the same purpose, to get high, to feel that you are, the word is missing, to feel, you feel like, I feel so good, I feel good, it makes me feel good.
So what it does is get rid of the conflict.
It's an illusion. What I'm trying to say, it's an illusion. And there's no way back from it. There's no cure for it, except a few things I can share with you, which we will come to at some other time. But there's one thing about food, which I just recently realized, that food has a hypnotic spell. There is something in the Bible that I can't find it, but it doesn't. You could lose it. You have it?
Well, it's closest, I believe it's closest to the original sin.
It is. It's the food.
Ate the
It's to
apple.
eat the
He didn't drink
food.
the apple.
No, but
He
you can
ate
eat
it.
good food for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
And get a feeling that makes you good, which isn't good.
Yeah.
So knowledge of good and the knowledge of evil are the same. But there's something about food that has a curse on it that can be reversed. But if you drink yourself to death and you have that as an addiction, or anything else as addiction, which gets much worse, and it will kill you. The only thing that can kill you and cure you is
Food?
food.
Because you're remembering
Because
Christ.
you're doing the same thing with food as Adam did, exactly. It made him feel better. It gave him freedom. It made him feel what he shouldn't feel. And so I said to the audience, if you understand that, all you need to do, because you are addicted to it and you're going to die from it many different ways. Because you're addicted to it just like everything else. But the only thing that can help you to return to it, as far as being addicted to it, is eat. When you eat, Jesus says,
Remember me.
eat this remembering me.
Yeah.
Now, if you are a spiritual person and you have a problem, I said go to your refrigerator and see what that means. Don't babble it. Don't babble it. Just be aware that you're eating your food. And you will find you will not eat as much. And the joy is different. Now, I've only said it twice. I just wonder how many people are locked onto that. I'm doing it. I'm aware of what I'm eating. All I have to be is I'm eating. I just need to be aware of it and not lose myself in the food.
Or distract yourself while you're eating and think about other things when you're eating to distract
it's
yourself.
so good.
Yeah,
I'm going to call Joe
Yeah.
and I'm going to give him the prescription, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
You see? No. Animals know how much to eat. You can't get them to eat in the wild, even if it's a big mound, any more than they're not tempted. There's no temptation. There's no other well. There's no other way. Why are we here? Why are we here? We're born. We come into the world. And we are sort of confident. We forget we're a machine that's been made out of a little tiny little thing. Now, how does it do that? See? I mean, there's so much to wonder. So much to wonder and appreciate it. I can't tell you how to be that way. There's no way. It has to be. My whole idea is science.
Yeah.
And my whole idea is what I'm doing here.
There's a
I'm doing both things. I'm both doing the important things to bring science together with religion.
when I was, I think I was about 4 at the time, I found that people died. I thought the only time people died was in accidents. And one day, my neighbor died, and I started questioning what happened. You know, he was
Too
brought
late.
up. Yeah, I started questioning my mom about it, and I didn't believe her when she told me. And the neighbor told me, she says, everybody dies. And it was like, wow.
But what is death? Nothing.
It's a transfer.
Have you ever had an operation and it was 2 or 4 or 5 hours long.
Yeah.
I said, when are you going to start? See? But you don't want to be that way forever.
No.
You're here for a purpose. But your purpose can't be somebody else's purpose or your own. Pushing other people to do having purpose. You don't want to push your kids. They have to unfold. And that's,
Yeah, we don't write the script.
No.
God should write the script. And this is the thing I've had with ambition and always thinking about,
Well, knock it off.
yeah, I know.
It's about time to take it easy.
Yeah, I agree.
It doesn't cost anymore. You keep trying and trying and trying. I talked about memory. I'd like to say a few words about that, if you don't mind. I said I don't have a good memory, but listen to me. I don't have a memory of anything except the things that taught me something. I can remember that. I've lost my ability to speak. I have lost my ability to speak the way I used to. I can come here and here I am expressing myself, but when I'm home and I'm watching TV, whatever it is, I really don't have a good memory of the past. I have a friend that talks to me about that. I can't always find the words. I forget the names of my family. But it doesn't frustrate me, that's the thing. Because I find something good in it. When I'm here, I don't have much of a problem. When I'm there, well, there's only my wife. When some of my grandchildren pop up, it's still not strong enough. And there's got to be a purpose for me to speak these things like here with you. I have to realize I'm growing older and had lots of sicknesses and diseases and horror, which I survived. I survived because I never hate the hurter or hate the hurt or the inconvenience. That is the magic. So I'm in a different realm right now. I'm by myself with my wife. That's it. That's all there is, basically. And a friend or two. And that's it. But I'm still enjoying life. I'm still discovering things. And when I added the memory, when I added eat this, remembering me, that was something I actually didn't see before. It's the only addiction that can bring you back to the addiction to God. We want the addiction to God in a manner of speaking. It's a hard word, but it's good addiction. It's good to be part of Him and not part of the world. It runs the world. I don't see too many fat people here. No, you're fat. You are. I got you. Not you. Right behind you. There it is. Now, you need to try that. You're a good woman, and you've got a problem with food.
I have a problem with being angry because I doubted myself so much when I was little. I thought I could never function being in the world. So you nailed it the other week. I get so upset at everybody because I feel like I'm so little, and unless I'm angry, I can't survive.
Anger makes you feel strong.
Yes.
Look down on people. But
Well, can I tell you what happened this week? Because I think it's so classic of my problem. I'm at work Monday after.
Well, what you're saying right in this last few minutes damns you. The very few words you said is an excuse. I did this and I did that. But the point is, you can't. This is a resentment that makes you empty. It makes you empty. You're a sweet lady, and therefore the sweetness means, to me at least, that you're an appeaser. And when you appease people, you lose your energy. And then and nobody appreciates your kindness. I see you're a kind person on the surface, and you'll give yourself to people, and they can't say no to them when you should. And so, therefore, you're a danger in cancer. You're in danger.
Oh, I've always known that. But can I say something? My mother is very emotional, and I've gotten.
If you don't mind me saying, screw your mother.
Oh no, I've gotten to that point. She's
I
like.
didn't say that you do that, actually.
No, she'll lay something on me, but she'll be really emotional about something, and it'll spark me.
Never mind. How old are you now?
52.
Huh?
52.
All right. You want to be 53? Just listen to what I'm saying. Yeah. Let it go. What is sitting there? How many times I've said about something very, very basic. Let it go. Don't forgive. That's playing God. Let it go like nothing happened.
Maybe I'm dense, but let me just say this, because I think this is the root.
Okay.
I think I don't let it go because I'm afraid I'm too little to deal with anything. Is that?
Now, are you fully grown and not too little? I mean, what logic is that? It's not logical.
I feel like I just got so run over.
You're an older person, a strong, an adult,
Yeah,
and you act like a kid.
that's
It
true.
acts like the kid.
I think I'm stuck at that, and which is
What?
why I
So
don't let
what?
it go. Huh?
What did he say?
I'm stuck at thinking that I'm so little and just like a little child, and therefore I.
No, you're big and fat.
I know.
What do you mean little? You're 20, 30 pounds over. You've got to squeeze yourself back to being a human that looks like a human, not one of those people in
In the mall.
in the mall. Yeah. How are you doing?
How am I doing? Well, honestly, I'm just seeing more and more and more.
By yourself. You don't have to listen to me to listen to yourself.
Yeah, but I am seeing more irritation. I'm seeing.
They're
I'm
coming to the surface.
I'm seeing.
Oh, there it is.
It's all come.
Oh, this is how the attitude is. Oh, I see that. But you don't have to say it. You can actually know it without words.
But I am thankful to come and be here, and sometimes I just sit here and listen.
Come sit over here.
Sometimes I just
Come
listen.
sit over here.
Oh.
Okay.
Sometimes I just listen to the tenor of your voice. I don't even.
That's important.
I just listen to it. I don't know. It sounds kind of weird, but I
want to test you.
go ahead.
Go to sleep.
I don't want to go to sleep. I've been asleep long enough.
Because if you would have been suggestible, you'd have gone.
My, whatever it's called, don't know the word. Because of all my parents, the role I've played, they were so cruel and there was so much trauma and so much that I played God.
How so?
That was the only way I could survive between the both of them is I played God. I was there for my father when he needed me so desperately, when I should have said, I gotta go. I just did all kinds of, it did all kinds of stuff. And I wonder why,
Give me an example.
Oh, I could give you volumes. There was just so much. An example. When I was 14, my dad used to go to prostitutes and leave me at home and tell me it was better to go to a prostitute than tell someone you love them. What I did is, I did a weird thing in myself, and he listened to you, but he was crazy, is I shut myself down to believe.
Is he dead now?
He's dead.
Good for you.
No, but I've done all kind of weird stuff that I don't even understand. So,
you are looking for the purpose of life.
you know, I heard somebody say recently, not you, someone that listens to you, that the purpose of life, the only purpose of life, is that we become a vessel for God's love to come through us. That's our only purpose, and everything.
We don't die. Jesus makes a point.
Yeah.
He sacrifices and lets him kill him. And then he recovers.
Yeah.
You said ahead of time,
Yes.
I rebuild my, what it was.
Temple.
Yeah. In 3 days. And he did.
I guess I want,
We are meant to live forever. I do not understand the form. I do not understand the process, but I know it's so. I know it's so. And that gives me confidence. Confideo. Con with understanding. Knowledge. Understanding.
I just hope, I'm 58 years old, and I really wish I could get to the core of my bones that I can't do anything.
Yes.
I really wish I could
But that takes time.
get it.
It takes a little
But
time.
I just hope that I just,
But the secret is...
when this girl back here said she feels small in the world, I think I could relate to that. It's kind of like, how do you relate to this world? How do you function in this world? How do you be with the world and have a job? And it's hard. It's a lot.
There's all kinds of pressures connected with everything.
Yes.
And learning, the experience is your connection to your Creator takes away all anxiety and upsets the upsetters. And then if you're in business and you're working for someone and the boss sees that you deal with things amazingly well, but you don't notice it yourself. You really don't notice it yourself. Mm-hmm. But other people take notice. Mm-hmm. And either they hate you or respect you. That's how you climb the ladder. The average person can't climb the ladder except being a bully of some kind. A dictator. That kind of thing. Is it 2 hours already?
Hour and a half.
Good Lord. Just a quickie. Anybody with a quickie? Get it said?
Here's Roy.
Yes.
That whole thing about letting go, letting God, and that, whatever, what changed so much for me when I realized something won't let go of me, and I can't fight it.
Well, it's both the same. You let go of the problem.
Is, God's the only power
that
could bring light into me to run it out. That's it. But I couldn't let go because it wouldn't let go of me. And the more I tried to let go, the more it hung on to me. The liar. It's a damn trick.
So what's the difference that makes the difference?
In the words, I'm going to let go. It's prideful.
Yeah, but...
I'm going to let go. I couldn't.
But not prideful. If you say it prideful, but if you said it...
With understanding.
Yes. It's a very big difference.
Very big.
Very big difference.
Yeah, it's more of a...
All the little... When President Obama said fundamental transformation with a great loud. He lied. Transformation, he knew that the people who couldn't see would see it as positive, but the people who could see sees negative and says, goodbye, bad rubbish. That's the difference. See, because people speak words, and because they speak words, they can have two meanings, or lie to you with a good face. But you can sense that, and that sense of it is a gift. And it's such a gift, it will turn you away from the worst and move you towards the better, by nature. Because the people who are cruel hate you, and you can see the hate. That's not difficult, but don't hate the hater. And that really screws his head for a long time. Never get over that. One more, you.
Well, I was just going to comment on, actually I was going to comment on him, but I want to comment on her now. She was saying that when she's going to work, it's very hard to be herself, when really it's not hard, it's a lot of volume to take you from yourself.
Say it again.
Meaning to be yourself is not hard.
You mean in the world?
Right, but the being out in the world gets you the temptations that you don't have at home and exposes the weakness in yourself that you're not yourself.
Well, that came from being at home.
Right. So what I found is it's becoming yourself starts with being still and then watching the littlest things.
Correct.
And that keeps you in that state. If you can stay in that state,
always the little things.
Then the bigger things don't take you by surprise. You're in the state that you can deal with them.
Well, when you're hammering something and you hit your nail with a hammer, the tendency of the person to say, stupid hammer, or stupid person, judgment. But the point is, if you catch those little things, it's very important.
Right.
Just catch that little thing. What am I getting angry with my fingers for? Or the hammer? I'm blaming the hammer.
The confideo is actually, or confidence is actually with loyalty. So you're in that moment when you give up that anger, you're loyal to what's right, and that's what.
It must be continuous, without a break. Once you start on that journey, you better stay on it, no matter how bad things become. Because those bad things are more proof of your graciousness. Don't hate, don't judge. See, you go through playing the role of judgment, and that makes you God. Makes you look down on the person, even if it's over you. You feel over him, for at least it's a feeling. See that?
Yes.
And it satisfies you, but then you have anxiety. But anyway, thank you very much.
Hold on, you got one more.
One more?
Also, I wanted to say that the old saying is, if you're going through hell, keep going.
I like it.
That's
And
it.
if you play video games, when you're going in the right directions, you encounter much more of the zombies attacking you.
Yeah.
So, like he said, as this is happening to you, you have to keep going. So if you're going through hell, keep going. And if you see a lot of zombies, you're going in the right direction. Sorry, Marilyn, you're up.
But the point is, you mix with very high people, and there's zombies there too.
Yeah.
And,
There's zombies everywhere.
And you take control.
Go ahead, Marilyn.
I just wanted to share an experience I had lately. I was waking up out of a deep sleep. I sleep too deeply. And as I come to consciousness, I just heard this desire, I can't do this anymore.
What? You could do what?
That was what I didn't know. And then all of a sudden, my body totally relaxed. As I was trying so hard to accomplish, to do everything right.
It will never,
It will never work.
never. It will kill you.
Yes, and
The energy goes And all that energy does is more emotions and more emotions
Yes.
and more emotions.
I would work so furiously, so hard, that
Yeah.
I would be totally exhausted.
Well, now,
Now it's different. Yes. And I
bon
even
vivant.
I see the crazy thoughts that come to my mind.
Yeah, goodbye.
Yeah.
Say goodbye to them. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
It was a nice discussion today. It was, very nice. And thank you. See if you can drag some other people in.